Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. And today for your Friday, it's going to be a ZVT Midrank Madness sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of Midrank Madness. Sniper Monkey, my screener for this, went through them all and chose the very best ones, and I'm very excited to cast this because it went through the screening process and was found worthy. Top right-hand corner is the Zerg player. He is red, his name is Asunder. And in the bottom left-hand corner of Turbo Cruise 84 is the blue Terran player Distrom. Alright, now, this is Midrank Madness, which again, just is a replay sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com, subject Midrank Madness. And it just needs to be a diamond or a platinum level replay, okay? So if you're diamond or if you're platinum, send it on over. We'll take a look at it, if it's fun, if it's entertaining in some way, if it just kind of shows what the middle of the ladder is all about, right? That's what this is. Just shows people learning and growing and people who are trying to be like their heroes, like Maru and like Serral and like SOS or Stats, but just failing to get there, but that's okay because we all fail. It's just about getting better every single day, you know what I mean? So, interested to see what this is going to be, why this was chosen among all the ones that are sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com. I'm still going to get somebody in the comments who was like, hey, what's that address to send you a Midrank Madness again? And I'll be like, man, I don't know why this gets past some people, but apparently it does. Hatch first in it. Here is Asunder Terran player. Is this... Why was that on slower? I didn't do that. Did I hit minus somehow? I'm looking at these SCVs, and they were going slow. Anyway, actually pool before gas here from Asunder, which implies to me he's not going for any kind of a crazy speedling, baneling bust style attack. He's going to try to defend with queens and with lings and whatnot. Wall off here from Distrom. And a double gas here. Distrom is up to something. He is not going one racks expand. He is making Marines instead of making a Reaper, which means this Reaper name will have to wait until the next cast before it gets used. And yeah, Asunder is actually oversaturating his main base a lot here. He just was really late on that pool, it looks like. And then the hatchery coming down here too. But... by golly, is he going to have a lot of resources to work with here when the time comes to actually, saturate that gas. One worker on gas. Okay, 2 workers on gas and 3 workers on gas. And now there's a queen coming. And, oh, 4 workers on gas. Asunder. We have, there we go. He figured it out. All right. So, based on what we're seeing here in the first couple minutes, this is feeling platinum level to me. A lot of Marines, though. He is worried about Overlord scouting on in. Was that canceled? I don't know what that was, but this feels like a battle cruiser rush. That double gas very early feels like a battle cruiser rush to me. Asunder really just needs to start pumping queens here. Overlord wants to scout in and might actually sneak on by. These Marines are patrolling this edge, this further edge of the base, but not actually protecting the top edge where this super cool spaceship is hovering over out just off the cliff there. But yeah, Overlord gonna scout on in, and my golly. Lack of an expansion is a bit of a tell that a battlecruiser is probably coming, although sometimes you can have 2 bases with 4 gases taken to get battlecruisers out quicker. If this is like, it's more of a mass battlecruiser play, or, you know, by mass I mean 2 battlecruisers. But Overlord scouts in. Oh, that's beautiful. He sees the tech lab. He's gonna see the double, I think he's gonna see the double gas before he dies too. 1 gas and, ooh, does not see the double gas. So this could be a few things at this stage. Maybe this could just be Banshees, honestly. I'm feeling Battlecruiser, but there's not a... well, is there one? No, there's not a Fusion Core coming up here at all. Oh, there it is. Okay, so a little bit late. So again, this is feeling platinum. There are ideas here. There are timings here. There are build orders here. They're not being executed exceptionally well, and that is something that can get you into Diamond, is just having a battle plan and having an opening build order and executing it well. That can get you to Diamond. Decision-making and things come into play more if you're trying to get into Masters. Your macro is really important if you want to try to get into Masters too. But just getting to Diamond is really just a matter of, do I have a build? Am I constantly making workers? Can I make an army at a certain amount of time? If you can do all those things, you should be able to get to Diamond 3 at the very least. So it's a bit of a... well, there's a Banshee first here, so this is not like the fastest battlecruiser rush of all time, but if it's a push that comes with Marines and comes with Hellions and comes with a Banshee and comes with a battlecruiser, I kind of like it, honestly. We'll see. We'll see if Asunder's ready for this. What is he doing? He's making spores, which at this stage, if you see a starport with the tech lab, just make spores. One in each base is going to be just fine. One in each mineral line here, as Asunder has done. He was trying to spread his creep all at the same time. And yeah, it is going to be a battle cruiser. The question is whether he pushes out with everything or just jumps the battle cruiser across the map and tries to win that way. Now, the queen count needs to be 5 in order to handle this. You can get away with 4 if there are some spore crawlers or one spore crawler getting hits off. We'll see if that's going to happen. Is that another spore? Yeah. Asunder. Asunder actually protecting his natural base here quite nicely. I like it. I'm liking it out of this dude. Roach is pushing across the map. They're just like, well, we're going to die to Widow Mines, but they had other stuff in mind. So one Roach dies, but both Widow Mines are going to die. It's probably a fair trade, I'd say, from the Zerg player, losing a Roach for a couple Widow Mines. Hellions can't do much about this, as it turns out, and the 3 Roaches are just pushing. They're like, really? You just have 2 Hellions to defend? All right, that's cool, I guess. Wow, they're just actually giving up on life right now, just trying to kill as many SCVs as possible, and that's going to be a 3, which is not bad. Widow Mine firing, and bam, Marines and Hellions enough to finish off that other Roach. So, what are it? 39 to 29 workers. Asunder is hugely ahead in economy right now. He is killing it economically. He needs to transfer some workers down to his 3rd base. Well, maybe not, just a couple. Just a couple, getting additional gas here too. His army, I'm going to guess, is pretty small. Yeah, 4 Roaches here. He is trying his very best to follow the advice of do not make units until you absolutely need to. Do not make units until you're attacking with them. Do not make units until you need to defend with them, which can be hard because it takes some time for them to pop out of those eggs. So you have to know when an attack is coming and then produce the units so that they're in time when the army shows up. Difficult, man. Zerg is not easy. I can tell you that much. Yes, players like Sarah make it look really easy, but it is incredibly difficult. Just that aspect alone, when to make workers and when to make drones, is really hard to handle. Drilling claws on the way, Yamato cannon on the way, battle cruiser cruising on in, and this Overlord's going to scout it. Nicely done. Overlord with speed comes up here and says something's coming this way. And yes, it is. Battle cruiser, who's actually going to take the time to turn around and kill that Overlord before moving in. So the queens, of which there are many at this point, nice job Asunder, making 6 queens and 2 spores at this natural. Battle cruiser is going to find this base incredibly inhospitable to him as a battle cruiser. Now, spore crawler, 1, 2 spore crawlers firing, queens up there too. And the BC just needs to get out. That is way too many queens. I've already taken several shots from a spore. You might be able to kill a queen depending on the transfuse timings here out of Asunder, but Asunder, I'm loving what I'm seeing here from the Zerg player. 77 to 60 overall supply. Terran player put, I want to say, a bit too many eggs into the battle cruiser basket, and it didn't work out for him. Like I said, as some more Roaches die, just running across the map to die, which I'm not a huge fan of. But yeah, I mean, maybe if he had pushed with all of these units, oh, the queens, it's going to be too late. Yeah, so lesson learned. If you're going to go for a battlecruiser rush, just rush it. Don't make anything else. Just get the battlecruiser. Maybe you can squeeze in a couple Marines and a couple Hellions, sure. But don't get a Banshee before you get the battlecruiser out, unless you're worried about a Nidus or something, which is something you should be worried about in general. Now, Overlord, man, Overlord's speed are zippy. I'm loving this. This advertisement right here is very nice. Nuke noodles, call down the hunger. Fantastic. So impressed. The eye pistol. Man, that's a throwback to like 2004. That's when those iPod commercials were out. I mean, I was in college at the time. I was a baby. I was like 20 years old. Ugh. Anyway, where are we? Creep spreading is all right. Did he lose a tumor over here? He must have, because I don't know why this tumor terminates in this location. There's not a newer one down there. But battlecruiser's trying to get inside the main base. Lings in production. Additional spores coming up inside the main base. And a queen. But 2 battlecruisers a little bit intimidating here for Distrom. 3rd base on the way from Distrom, which means a 4th needs to come up for Asunder approximately right now. But yeah, the battlecruisers are going to come in. Yamato cannon! Not enough to one-shot a spore, but enough to half-shot it. And the second one will take it down. So using those on spores is better than using them on queens as far as the Zerg player is concerned. Good transfuse, man. Asunder's actually been pretty on top of things here. Again, his opening build was a little bit rickety. He's throwing up a ton of static defense. Still up 60 to 49 workers, which is really great for him. He's getting a 4th base now. But he needs an army that can attack. Some kind of an army that can attack this. You know what could just wreck this is a whole bunch of Roaches. Roach Hydra would be pretty fantastic here too. Asunder not spending his money all that well. He's going for Neuroparasite. He's worried about additional battlecruisers being made, but It's not Mass BC. He doesn't know that, though, because he hasn't been able to scout because Distrom's been doing a pretty good job chasing those overlords away. And I've been in your shoes, Asunder. It's really hard to get a scout in there, but you got to keep trying. And Ling's checking for additional bases is a good thing to check there. Ling's cruising on. Again, the Widow Mine's being used for base defense is not bad, honestly. But this third base protected by 2 Widow Mines is not enough, my friend. As we can see here, by every SCV dying, the Mule survives somehow. And then Ling's recognizing they don't want to commit suicide. They're going to get the Mule. They're going to get maybe that SCV and then try to get out of there. Yeah, they cost themselves a few units to make that happen. Battlecruiser setting up, just staring intently at Asunder's third base. I mean, honestly, you could probably go in. There's only 3 queens and a couple spores here. But good focus firing on the 1 BC. Transfuse. Oh, Asunder, your transfuses are making me feel tingly inside. That was great. So Zerg player up 55 to 43 workers. He's not losing drones. He's just building stuff with them. Yeah, he hasn't lost a single drone to attacks, but he currently has 17 spore crawlers, which is a lot, and 3 spines. So he might have overmade, but he just made 29 drones. I saw that. So he's up to 80 workers now on 4 bases. It really, really should be time for him to attack here at about 10.5 minutes. He's making a macro hatch. He's recognizing he's having a hard time spending his money, which is great. He needs to fully saturate this natural extractor. That's something I need to check from time to time. Are all my extractors fully and accurately and completely saturated? He just has too many spores. I understand he is worried about mass battlecruiser being a thing, but boy howdy. This is so many spores and spines here up the 4th base too. I mean, Distrom. I go back and forth on this. Some spines, yes. It just drives me nuts when I watch high-level StarCraft 2 players, especially Zergs, lose a ton of drones of Blue Flame Hellion run-bys, and they have no static defense at all, sure. But this is like, wow, this is the static defensiest I've ever seen a Zerg player, I think, ever on my channel. I have never seen this much dedication to static defense. And I don't know if Asunder has been listening to my casts and is like, oh, Falcon says to make static defense against this situation. And yes, true, but not this much. Not this much. I mean, he is replacing the drones that he's turning into. He's making so many. He's 90 workers now, completely oversaturated this 4th base. Might as well go for a 5th right about now, but he's got infestors with neural parasite, mind you. He's getting burrow for these dudes. And Distrom's army is okay. I mean, for the 12-minute mark, he should be closer. Well, he's at 165 supply, which is not bad. A lot of these are Marines, and I kind of feel like something of an A move here from Distrom might just win. More so if he actually sets up the tanks before he pushes in, but let's see. Let's see what happens here with Distrom. Hydralisk then on the way from Asunder. More spines coming up because you could never have too many spines. Zergling in position to scout when Distrom moves out. That's really important stuff. Asunder gets an alert. Whoa, 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 whoa. Do not engage off of creep with these banelings. Asunder. You're going to try to fungal. Look, come around this side. Just defend your base. You don't need to push out here for some reason. What are you doing? All right, well, a couple banelings going to die for nothing. Infested Terrans. Panic-infested Terrans. Why would you do this? Okay, decent fungal, but a couple good hits and then all the infestors die. Falcon says, do not go off creep with your Zerg units when you're defending. All right. Well, here's where the static defense comes into play here. And do you see how long it lasted against this onslaught? Not very long at all. Marine Marauder does not care about your spines. 3rd hatch goes down. We've got Lings and Queens here, but oh gosh. Are there enough Lings to actually get a surround on this? God, there are so many Liberators. There are tanks in the mix too. Queens fighting against the Liberators, kind of like it. And you know what? The tanks get cleaned up. The Liberators might end up dead, although standing in the circles while trying to kill them is not exactly what you need to do. Oh, he just picked up and dropped inside the main. Very nice. So macro hatch down. Army supply 102 to 46. Distrom, move your reinforcements across the map. I know you're microing with all your heart on this side of the map, but dude, get them across. Just A-move them. Go, 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 go. Sitting back here, they do nothing for you. Honestly, I don't know why he didn't bring the battle cruisers to that as well, as long as we're critiquing a little bit here. But yeah, the Lings, there are enough Lings to do this, and just little enough of the bio to do that. So, I mean, it is just Zerglings, man. It is 59 Lings. They currently have +2 attack and +2 armor, which is really nice. And 1/1 is done for Distrom, but still. Alright, Distrom. I kind of feel like you should have had that game. If you brought these 2 BCs with you, if you had these reinforcements pushing up at the same time, Lings are not enough to handle that. I mean, Asunder made panic Zerglings. I've been there, Asunder. I'm not saying that you're a bad player, because I do the exact same thing sometimes. Although I'm a bad player too, so maybe in the sense that we're all bad players, you're a bad player, but I'm not trying to pick on you is what I'm saying. It's something that I do as well. It's, yep, Zerg. Okay, so 4th base here from Distrom. Finally taking that thing. Probably should have thrown that down while he was attacking. In fact, I know he should have. You need to expand while you're attacking. And here at 15 minutes, we are, I mean, are we maxed out? Distrom's maxed out. Asunder sitting here at 193 supply. The Terran player's base, it's all right. It's not the best SimCity I've ever seen, but there's room for units to get out and head on down and join their friends. Nobody's getting stuck, I think, is the most important thing here. Distrom says, if at first you don't succeed, try the exact same composition again, which, fair enough. 2/2s on the way from Distrom. Very intense music starts up as Distrom is, I was just waiting, but now he's pushing out Ultralisks on the way from Asunder. He's getting muscular augments for his Hydras, chitinous plating. Ooh, I haven't said chitinous in a while. Chitinous plating for his Ultralisks, and adrenal glands for his Lings. So a Ling Bane Hydra Ultra style deal here. My Banelings, I mean, there are no Banelings at all in the army right now. He didn't have a good experience with his Banelings off of creep last game because, no, never engage with Banelings off creep. Trying to get... Yep, he's trying to snipe off some of the stuff with some of these units. He does get a nice surround. Man, if there were Banelings, think how much better this would go for the Zerg player. But as it stands, not as good. Man, it is hard to see when stuff is in those shields. In these fields, it's just all green. Only a few medevacs here trying to heal up. Pushing on in. Army supply again, 136 to 50 overall supply. Distrom needs to go. There are 6 Ultras in production from Asunder. The Liberators need to support here. Does he have Stim? He has Stim. He's got Stim. He's very judicious about his use of... There it is. Spawning pool down. Liberator needs to set up on top of this Ultralisk now. And he does, but the Ultra dies anyway. Natural Hatch dies. Trying to save the tanks. 1 Ultralisk versus all this bio. No, especially with the Liberator circles. This is incredible. Liberator getting 3 shots off on these Ultras. Bam, that one dies. Bam, that one's taking some shots too, but 2 more Ultras are popping out right now, and everybody picks up. Most everybody picks up, drops on over, says, hey, why don't you come engage us inside? Oh, that's so good out of Distrom. I've had some words of criticism for him, but that was beautiful play. The Ultras very accommodatingly wander on over inside the Liberator circles of death. 10 kills and 8 kills on these Liberators, by the way. Man, just stand in the circles, dudes. He's trying. Spore Crawler gets one of the Liberators. The other one's already gone. It was a good engagement, but once again, reinforcements from Distrom did not join the party. He was able to kill the natural base. He killed some Ultralisks. He killed a ton of Lings and Hydras and Queens. Resources lost here are 23,000 for Asunder and 12,000 for Distrom. Those are the kind of numbers you see in a game that is just absolutely... The Zerg player just gets crushed by the Terran when those are the numbers we see, but... Not today. Asunder's macro has been good enough to keep him in this game. Just making enough stuff. I don't think he's made the right choices necessarily. The fact that he's made no Banelings since that first group. Seriously, he's got Banelings. He had the Lings trapping the retreat, right? The Banelings just... Everybody dies. Everybody... There's no secondary push there from Distrom. So if I had advice for Asunder at this stage of the game, make Banelings engage on creep, spread your creep a little bit more. It's fairly anemic, honestly, at this stage of the game. The number of tumors is 21, which at 20 minutes is just not great. Meanwhile, Hydras, Lings, Ultras, static defense. Which, all right, man, I believe in you. I believe in you, static defense, but there are tanks now, so never mind. Tanks firing on those creep tumors, lowering the count again. Asunder knows not to attack into this choke at least. He's going to try to sneak around the outside. But the Liberator's anticipating that attack. This is really good. I'm really liking this out of Distrom. Covers his flank, covers his front. very cautiously coming on in. Again, not really stimming to take down these spires. The stim, man, stim increases DPS by like 8,000%, I feel like. They're just not good. Marines and Marauders without stim are just like, doo, 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 doo. But once you stim them, they are little tiny gods of DPS output. You trade a little bit of health for crazy DPS output. He got medevacs overhead healing anyway, so it doesn't really matter. See, look. It's like it's fine, but then you stim. 3-3's on the way, which means that 2-2 is done, which means, the bio left everybody else alone, which means Hydra Ultra's going to come in and deal with your tanks and your Liberators while sacrificing the 5th base, obviously. So that's not great. These drones could die. Asunder doesn't want to lose those. It will take him down. Oh, the burrow! But the scan! Distrom is not. He was not born yesterday. He did not fall off the turnip truck yesterday. Liberator setting it up. Wham, 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 wham. The Hydras are going. Oh, the battle cruisers jumped into the party, though. Hey, hey! The Liberator. Nope, one Liberator. Two Liberators remain. Oh, several over there. Never mind. Right side, yes. Battle cruisers jump out. Liberators. Yeah. Ultra dies. Hydra's trying to sneak around the outside of those circles. Liberators fleeing for their lives from these Hydralisks. Once again, a bit of an army here that didn't join the party. Hydra count. Problematic for these medevacs, and they do go down. So, Asunder has not replaced his natural base. He did replace this this 4th that he made a while ago, so that's nice. And he is replacing this one. So fair enough. Distrom went for a 4th. Never really saturated it, which is probably a good thing because it's all dead now. 3rd base, happily mining for Distrom, but losing the 4th. So both players are in a bit of a sticky situation right now. Nobody's super happy. 53 to 62 workers in favor of the Terran, actually. And he's going for Thors, which, okay, Thors are kind of general good all-purpose units here, but against this many Hydras, no. No. Not against Hydras, not against a lot of Zerglings, especially if the Lings have upgrades. Do they yet? Yeah, they've got 3-3. So, I mean, Asunder's been paying attention to his upgrade paths. Replacing bases fairly well, unburrowing a couple drones that were hiding after the massacre of the 5th. And putting them to work on some extractors. So, this is a very unorthodox concept here from Asunder. You can do this in team games. Ultra, Hydra, if you have other units to compensate from other races, but, oh gosh. Widowmine shots, ignore armor. So they're actually better against Ultralisks than you would think. 3rd base goes down from Distrom, though. So that's a huge problem for the Terran player. That is his one source of income right now. He's trying to replant his 4th, but Hydra's taking out some of these Liberators, removing the circles, pulling them back. The Ultras are just taking a ton of damage and not really dealing any damage right now. So Asunder decides it's time to pull on back home. He's making Infestors after the great Infestor massacre of minute 10 in this game, wherein all the Infestors died for Asunder after getting down a couple Fungals and some Infested Terrans. Not the most effective Infestor play, but he's like, all right, I believe I'm capable here. I love the replacement of the space. Very nicely done. And he's replacing his natural for the all of, I don't know, a couple thousand gas and some minerals remaining here, but it's mostly going to be for the gas. You're going Ultra, Hydra, and Infestor. You need all of the gas you could possibly get. Just from expanding back over, or has already expanded back over to this 9 o'clock position for his 4th. His 3rd base is being reconstructed over this way. Pro tip, dude, you can lift this orbital command and put it over here. Also your main base, you can lift that one up and put it over here. There's no need to spend any time building new bases. Asunder trying to expand to the 3 o'clock. No. It gets dropped. Very nicely done from Distrom there. And the long distance patrolling here is interesting to me. Yeah, Distrom's like, I had some pretty good success dropping in the main base a while ago. I'm going to kill me some larvae. A bunch of Zerglings, because why not? When the Hydras show up, it is time to flee. Whiff on that fungal. That is, as it is a projectile. Ooh, he's unloading over here, but the Infestors were here the whole time. The fungal, the infested Terran dropped the chain fungal on these dudes. Oh gosh, and that Marauder slowly rotting. Bam, dead to the Hydralisks. So that was not a super efficient use of energy, but he's got a ton of Infestors, so hey. Why go after him? Distrom's sitting on 1,000, actually, sorry, 3,000 minerals, 183 supply. Ooh, Hydra Ultra still kind of pathing around out here, just by Distrom's 3rd. Just putting a little fear of Zerg into the Terran player. Does Thunder know about this base on the left side? I don't think so. He does not, but he has to assume, right? Oh, hang on. So that's the 5th? Let's forget about this one on this map. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5th base for Distrom. Okay, I'm feeling better about him already. Again, maxed out Marine Marauder Liberator with a couple Thors in the mix now. By that I mean I think there's a single Thor. He was making more than that. Oh, he does have 2. Where's the other one? Oh, they're right next to each other. Battlecruiser obscuring the view there. Might actually end up being a bit of a base race here. Asunder coming down the left side. Liberators getting some free Hydralisks. Neural Parasite on the Liberators? Okay. That's one way to neutralize them, I guess. Going after the Planetary Fortress here with Ultralisks, Hydralisks, and Infested Terrans. A weird composition, but okay. But guess who has the 125 to 80 army supply? Yeah, it is Distrom. The Burrowed Infestors unburrow at the wrong possible moment. Oh no! Oh no, the Infestors are all dead. Distrom is fighting Infested Terrans for some reason. You don't have to do that. But 107 to 32 army supply, all of a sudden, Distrom is thinking his lucky stars. Those Infestors didn't actually cast any fungals on him, and there have been no banelings made in the game for quite a while. 5th base under assault again is not actually that far from Distrom's attempt at a 5th base to Asunder's attempt at a 5th base. It's gonna go down. I don't think Asunder's gonna come back from this, you guys. This Battlecruiser's been around for the entire game, and he's got 10 kills. He's never been repaired, mind you. Pro tip, repairing a Battlecruiser is like a 4th as expensive as just making a new one in resources used. So always repair your BCs, guys. Pro tip of the day. Asunder rebuilding his economy is at 51 workers. He's lost a lot of drones, guys. 42 drones have gone down. 33 SCVs have died here, too. Distrom attack. This just feels like a death push to me. I don't know. Hydroling Ultra is not going to be enough for this. Battlecruiser flies in range of spores. Fare thee well, Battlecruiser Commander. You did well for Distrom in this game. Always remembering to scan to kill these tumors, because being on creep any longer than you have to be is always a super bad thing. Yeah, meanwhile, counterattack Lings down to Distrom's base. You know what? Like, crippling the income of Distrom is not bad right now. He's going to take down these supply depots with the extra supply. Trying to supply block Distrom, but that's going to be a hard task. Yeah, this is just, when you have this big of an army kind of sitting inside your natural base, going to go up the ramp into your main. Liberators covering the retreat here. This is... Man, Sunder's going to go for this, but this is just not enough Zerg stuff, man. 109 to 36 total army supply. The 3-3 coming through. The Liberators powering through. And the victory march into the main base for Distrom. That's your GG. I don't know. Asunder is hoping these 2 Ultralisks can save him. I don't know where he's building those, actually. Down here, it would seem. The hive goes down. Larva getting massacred here. Yes, they have a lot of armor, but this is a lot of damage output from these 3-3 Marines and Marauders who were stemmed earlier. This is my favorite things in the game, too, is attacking from high ground to low ground with projectile, the way that it, like, bullet curves. So cool. So cool. All right, so, I mean, again, at the stage of the game, Asunder, he does not know that he's done, I guess, or he is just being stubborn about... I mean, in fairness, Distrom's economy isn't great. He's got 1 mining base right now. He's not exactly on fire, but it's just there's nothing to handle this bio. There have been no banelings since the initial failed baneling attack. Well, free Zerglings are not what you want to be giving away at this stage. The Spine Crawlers are going to help you absolutely 0% in this attack. They might have killed a Marine. I'm sorry. Maybe. The 3rd hatch goes down. When I said victory march into the main, at a pro level, that would be it. There would be a GG. Well, probably long before that, actually. When the army supply was, you know, 100 at 20. That's usually where that happens. Man, good Liberator control here from Distrom, too. Just slowly sieging it forward. Sending it right on top of these Ultralisks, who... That was going to die. Ooh, he gets out. Gets out of the circles, which is nice. He's got some... Oh, he left some... but then he burrowed. I was going to say, he left some drones for Distrom to kill, but then he burrowed most of them. But then he burrowed some of them right in front of Distrom. Distrom should know this burrow was happening. What the heck, Asunder? We're done. We are done here. I don't know what else to tell you, man. Ultras are like, we're going to base race. We're going to base race this Terran. None of us can shoot up. We're going to have a hard time killing 1 planetary fortress, actually. Well, there's no repair, so you know what? Never mind. You're going to get this suckered. Way to go. Way to go, Ultras. Big moment for you there. Distrom's like, these ultra... Oh, there's another base coming up. I'm like, how's Asunder not eliminated? He's got a creep tumor, bunch of drones, and a dream. Okay, a lot of SCVs going down here. Actually tossing down changelings, which is hilarious. Trapping the ultras. Run. Do they have anabolic synthesis? They do. Oh, hang on. He's like, you know what? If you're going to attack outside of the Liberator range, I'll get some free Marines. That sounds great. So then the rest of the army shows up and the ultras die. And Asunder's army supply is 0. And there's your good game. He was just waiting for his final ultralisk to die before he actually left. To the bitter end from Asunder. But bam, Distrom gets the win. That was good. I want to say that was a good game. I mean, man. What a wonderful Midrank madness there. All right. Good times. Good times had by all there in the Midrank madness. Good back and forth. Again, the secret here for Asunder is going to be Banelings. I know you lost 13 Banelings during that initial thing and you think they're bad, but Banelings on creep, especially combined with Fungal, would have been so nice. It was a largely Marine force out of Distrom the whole game. That was going to be it. It would have been enough, fellow Zerg player, but, I mean, props to Distrom. He didn't really change up what he was doing. It was Marine Marauder, Tank Liberator. Pretty much the entire game. That's what he made. The battle cruisers, sure, that didn't work out. No big deal. Made a couple Thors, not sure what that was all about. Could work on defending his third base a little bit better. Again, 2 Widow Mines are not going to protect a third base from many attacks Zerg players can muster. But in the end, it wasn't too big of a deal. I mean, sure, he was down to 29 workers, and sure, he technically did not have a mining base at the end of the game, but that's only because of the, last-minute death throes of Asunder coming on in to try to murder him while he was dead already. I think it's okay. In the end, Asunder losing 57,000 resources, Distrom's 32. That is just incredibly, stupidly efficient Terran. And again, Distrom could have won the game a couple times early just by sending reinforcements across the map, maybe just microing a little bit better. Asunder spent too much money on static defense, which, if your opponent is going for a ton of battle cruisers, get Corruptors. Corruptors have more utility than a ton of Spores, and Spines are fine. A couple Spines at each mineral line to deal with Hellion Run-bys are beautiful, but if your opponent has not Hellion Run-by'd you, it just seems unlikely they'll do it later, especially at this level, so maybe don't bother with it. All right. So, good stuff. Fun times had by all, but that is going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and your mid-rank madness. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. Again, if you can also find me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
Before us, our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. Justice, our duty is unending. I feel your presence. We are as one. Sense of search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Inshallah adu. The path of ascension is before us. Our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. I sense a soul. A soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala adu. I sense a soul. A soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala adu. I sense a soul. A soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala adu. Kalarulas. Karamulas. Aklaranus. Naslaran. Kinalatu. Casar di Templare. Undaramanaka. Oshara Sashina.